All right, we're going to start the lidded box, and just to let you know, we're going to be using the millimeters side of the ruler, not the inches side. So each of these is a centimeter. Every mark in between is a millimeter, so 10 centimeters, or I'm sorry, 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters. Okay, just so we have an understanding. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start up in the very top left, and we're going to measure over 150 millimeters. I'm going to put the 0 right on the edge there, and 150 millimeters is going to be 15 centimeters. I'm going to put a line right there, and I'm also going to do 150 millimeters down. So I'm going to put a line at 15 centimeters right there. And then I need this to be a square. So I'm actually going to measure down from the left side as well, so I can make sure that this is nice and squared up. I'm going to make a mark at 15 centimeters there. And then I'm going to connect those two across. So I'm just going to line up the ruler on there, but I know I just need to go to 15 and make a mark there. I'm going to draw that first line, and then I'm going to connect these two from the top to the bottom, like so. So I have a box that's 150 millimeters this way and this way in all directions, 150 millimeters. All right, the next step is I'm going to do some horizontal lines, 40 millimeters from the top. So I'm going to start up here, and I'm going to do 40 millimeters, which is 4 centimeters. Again, just multiplying or dividing by 10 in this case. So I'm going to put a mark there at 4. I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to put a mark at 4 as well. And just notice that my ruler is the 0, and that line is right at the top of the paper there. I don't want to put the ruler there because then I'm adding all this distance there, but I want to put the 0 lined up right there. Okay. Now this line is going to be a dashed line or a dotted line because I'm going to fold on this line and not cut. So I'm just going to do some dashes or dots across this one to let me know that that is a fold. I'm going to do the same from the bottom as well, from the bottom of my square. So in this case, I'm just going to put the mark, or I'm going to put the ruler at 4 or 40, and I'm going to put the line at 0. Same on the other side. Okay, so I am now up 40 millimeters, and I'm also going to put dashes across this one as well, since this is a fold line. Okay, I'm also going to do more lines, some vertical lines that are also at 40 millimeters or 4 centimeters. So I'm going to mark there. I'm going to come over here to this side. I'm going to put the ruler right on the 4, put a mark at the 0. I'm going to do the same on the bottom. Down here, and then on this side as well. Over here. Okay, and then I'm going to connect these ones as well. These are going to be solid lines coming down like so. Okay, so I have my square, and then the next step is I need to add the trapezoid shapes. These are going to make up the tabs on my box, and these need to be 8 millimeters high, and the base, so 8 millimeters high here, the base is going to be 40, which I already have, and the top of it is going to be 32. So 8 millimeters on this ruler is going to be less than the number 1. It's going to be 2 less than number 1. This is 10 millimeters. I need to go down 2 to 8 millimeters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my ruler right at 8. So this dotted line right here is right at the 8, and I'm going to make a mark right there. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, I'm going to do that on the bottom as well. I'm going to do all these at once. So I go 10 minus 2 right there. here and do it at 8 as well. Over here. Just do them all at once. Okay, so I have all those marks at 8 millimeters. Now the top of this line is going to be, whoops, I need to do this one up here. Did it in the wrong spot. 10, so I'm gonna go this way. So I'm gonna go to the 2 and the 2. Okay, so ignore those. All right, now the top of these lines is going to be 32 millimeters across. If I know this is 40, then I can do some simple math. I can say 40 minus 32 is 8. And since I have 2 sides, I need to divide it by 2, so that's going to be 4. So I'm going to put a mark at 4. So this is 5, so I go down 1 at 4, and then I can go 4 this direction. This is 5, so I'm going to subtract 1 this direction. Okay, I'm going to do that on all 4 of these corners. So I'm going to put a mark at the 4, and I'm going to put a mark at 4, subtract 4 there. Same down here. And again, I do it this way just because it's easier to do them all at once rather than trying to remember what all the measurements were. Okay, so the next step is I'm going to connect these dots to the corners. So this dot here is going to go right down to this corner here. This, and again, I'm just making the tabs that we're going to fold on. That dot to that corner, that dot to that corner. You can see the pattern that's happening here. And once all those are done, then I can connect the tops. So that will give me 32 millimeters across the top of each of these. Okay, and if I actually do and look at the measurements, you can see I have 10, 20, 30, 32 millimeters. So I have my tabs there. So I'm gonna put an X in these squares right here, the top and the bottom, because I don't need those. I'm going to get rid of those when I do my cutouts. All right, so now we're gonna do the lid. This part over here was the box itself. So now we're gonna do the lid. I can do it on the same paper. And so I need to make a 100 millimeter by 100 millimeter square. So I know that 10 centimeters is 100 millimeters. So I'm gonna line up the 10 here, right on this left side. I'm gonna put a mark at the 0. Okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna come down the side. And again, I'm lining up the 0 with the edge of the paper here, the point. I'm gonna put a mark at the 10 here. And then I'm gonna do the same across. So I'm putting the 10 right on the side there and make a mark there. And just for good measure, I'm gonna make one come down here, put it right there. So now I'm gonna connect these to make my 100 millimeter box, like so. All right. The next step is I need to put some triangles on this one as well. So I'm gonna come down 14 millimeters from the top here. So again, this is 10. So I'm gonna go just make sure my zeros lined up here. So I'm gonna go just before the, so this is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, just before the 5 mark there. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it there on this side as well. And then from the bottom, and again, I find it easier to put the ruler, put this line right at the 14 and then put my mark at 0. Either way, make sure that it's 14 millimeters. I could do it this way. I could flip my ruler around and then do my mark at 14 millimeters, but I find it just as easy as my ruler is pointing in that direction just to put this mark at the 14 and draw the line to the 0. Okay, so these are going to be dashed lines again. These are fold lines across. And the same with this one down here. Okay, and then I need to do 14 millimeters from the left and the right as well. So I'm going to come across 14 millimeters. So again, this is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then again, from this side, I'm going to put the ruler at 14 and make my mark at 0. Same down here. Put the ruler at 14, make the mark at 0. And at this one, I'm going to put it right at 14. Then I'm going to connect these as well. So put my pencil right on the dot there. Come down. Like so. Okay, so now I need to make the tabs on this one as well. So we're going to do it in the same fashion that we did the other one. So the tabs in this case are going to be right up here. They're going to be 8 millimeters wide. And how tall are they? 8 millimeters wide and 6 millimeters tall. So this, if I'm looking on my ruler here, this is 5 millimeters. So I'm going to go one mark up from the 5. And that's going to be my 6. So I'm going to put the ruler, or I'm going to put the mark right on 6. And I'm going to make a little mark there at 6 millimeters. Same down here. Put the ruler at 0. Make a mark at 6. 6. And then on this one, mark at 6 as well. Okay. So I have 6 millimeters marked off there. Now the base is 14. The top is 8. So again, I got to do a little bit of math. So 14 minus 8 is 6. Divided by 2 is 3. So I'm going to come over just 3 millimeters right here. A little bit hard to see, but there's 3 right there, and 1, 2, 3 right there. So I'm going to mark all of these all the way around at 3 millimeters. Make sure I mark it on the right spot. Okay, and then I'm going to connect these to the corners as well. So I start at my 3 millimeter line there, go right to that corner, this one to the corner, like so, and then I can connect the tops of them as well. So that's going to give me my 8 millimeter top, or 6 millimeter top, sorry. All right, so I can put an X here, and here, and here, and here, because I don't need those pieces. So when I cut out, I'm going to cut out this tab right here. Okay, I need to not cut this tab off. I'm just cutting off this area that's shaded here. That's the piece that I don't need when I cut these out.